Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Hallelujah. Young and Restless brings in a tougher Claire. And, spoiler, should be shaking in their shoes at long last. Young and Restless is moving on from the version of Claire that fans at one point had dubbed Scary Poppins, as in, frighteningly saccharine, sweet and childlike, particularly she came onto the canvas as a would-be killer. Now, Haley Aaron is teasing the return of her alter ego's darker side, and we couldn't be more thrilled. The target of her wrath, however, may not be so happy. In a new interview, Aaron told Soap Opera Digest that in light of the unfolding situation involving Victor hiring Audra to seduce Kyle and break up her relationship, Claire isn't biting her tongue anymore. Indeed, something seemed to snap in her when Victor was rude to Kyle after her father's memorial, and she's since been declaring here and yonder that she's done with her grandfather's machinations and disrespect. While Aaron confirms that Claire will eventually soften toward the mustache, not wanting to cut ties with the patriarch of her newfound family, for the other party involved, it will be another story. Claire and Audra's soap rivalry will be well established in the coming episodes, as Audra digs in her heels and doubles down on her insistence that something happened between her and Kyle in France in an effort to salvage her deal with Victor and save the company that never was, the Bronte. Or perhaps just to have her revenge. Either way, it's not going to go over well at all with Claire, who is understandably fed up with having to deal with this situation on top of losing Cole. Aaron previewed, she's definitely going to give Audra a taste of her own medicine. That would seem to suggest that Claire will turn the tables on Audra by doing something to threaten her relationship with Nate. Will she dish the deets on Audra's deal with Victor? Egad, this could get ugly. Should Claire tell Nate what Audra's been up to? Vote. For months now, fans of The Young and the Restless have been watching Claire Grace navigate Genoa City with poise, vulnerability, and a lot of inner torment. She's fought through trauma, rejection, and a twisted past with her manipulative Aunt Jordan. But now, it's clear the tide is turning. The Claire we knew, the one who tiptoed around Victoria, cautiously sought redemption, and struggled to make peace with herself, is gone, and what's taking her place, a Claire who's stronger, smarter, sharper, and maybe just a little dangerous. In a twist that could reshape the entire power dynamic of the show, YNR is ushering in a new phase of Claire, one forged in fire and finally unafraid to bite back. And believe us when we say, there are some major players in Genoa City, especially, spoiler, who had better be watching their backs. Point 2. What changed Claire? The domino that tipped her over. If we rewind the emotional clock, Claire's transformation didn't happen in a vacuum. She's had reasons, no, catalysts, to start shedding her old skin. First and foremost, the fallout from her complicated relationship with Kyle Abbott. What started as a bond rooted in mutual confusion and brokenness has since spiraled into a mess of crossed boundaries and unspoken desires. While Kyle was intrigued by Claire's quiet intelligence and intensity, he failed to appreciate the layers underneath. And when he backed off, perhaps at Summer's insistence or his own cowardice, it sent a message that reverberated deep inside Claire. She was tired of being someone's project. Or worse, someone's regret. So she did what anyone with a backbone would do, she started recalibrating. The result is this new version of Claire, one who no longer seeks validation but instead builds her own. And in doing so, she's attracting attention from some unexpected corners. Point 3. The shocking alliance, Team Claire and Kane? Let's take a moment to consider just how far the writers are willing to go. There are rumblings, strong ones, that Claire may soon align with someone most fans would have never paired her with, Kane Ashby. Yes, that Kane, the troublemaker, the businessman turned schemer, the perpetual wild card. On the surface, they couldn't be more different. Claire is precise and methodical, Kane thrives in chaos. But dig a little deeper, and the overlap becomes clearer. Both feel like outsiders. Both are working overtime to prove themselves in a world that constantly undermines them, and both are not above throwing a curveball that could knock the corporate titans of Genoa City straight off their thrones. While nothing has been confirmed, insiders hint that Kane may extend a hand to Claire, offering her a seat at his increasingly intriguing chessboard. And if Claire takes it, Nikki, Victor, Jack, and even Phyllis better be ready for war. Point 4. Spoiler, in the crosshairs. Why they should be very, very afraid. The biggest target of Claire's new no-nonsense attitude, none other than, spoiler, a person whose smugness has finally pushed Claire past the point of pleasantries. Maybe it's Audra. Maybe it's Nate. Maybe even Summer or Phyllis. Whoever it is, they've been playing their game too long without consequence. But Claire has receipts now. She has allies. And she has no reason to be nice. Where once she would have chosen restraint, she now chooses retaliation. And you can expect a full-scale takedown, stylish, surgical, and merciless. Claire doesn't raise her voice. She raises stakes. Point 5. The moment that made fans cheer. Last week's cliffhanger had fans collectively lose their minds as Claire walked out of society, turned to, spoiler, and coldly said, "Don't mistake silence for weakness. I know how to use a knife, just not always literally." That wasn't just a line. It was a mission statement, and the beauty of it? Claire didn't yell. She didn't sob. She didn't crumble. She calculated. She delivered the kind of slow-burn threat that made even the most seasoned manipulators blink. The camera didn't need dramatic zoom-ins. Claire's eyes said it all. Try me. 6. How Billy and Victoria factor into Claire's evolution. Billy Abbott may be a mess in a million different ways, but he's surprisingly consistent when it comes to one thing: rooting for the underdog. That's why his quiet support of Claire has been so touching, and so necessary. But with Victoria? That's where things get complicated. Victoria still sees Claire through the lens of heartbreak. She wants to believe in her, but her CEO brain and mother instincts are constantly at war. Now that Claire is growing sharper and more assertive, Victoria may start to feel outpaced, even threatened, and if Victoria doesn't get out of her own way, she may find herself on the wrong side of Claire's loyalty. Or worse, her revenge. Point 7. Why Nikki's push created a monster, or a hero. Let's not forget the pivotal role Nikki Newman played in ushering in this new Claire. Initially, Nikki treated Claire like a ticking time bomb, and understandably so. But over time, she became more hands-on in trying to mold Claire into the Newman ideal. Problem is, Nikki doesn't realize Claire wasn't meant to fit in, she was meant to redefine. In trying to polish Claire's edges, Nikki awakened a side of her that's now becoming impossible to ignore. And with Nikki's recent machinations behind closed doors, including rumors of her new alliance building, she may have just pushed Claire into playing a much bigger game than anyone expected. Point 8. The psychology behind Claire's new persona. This isn't just a revenge arc. It's a rebirth. Claire's transformation is more than external, it's psychological. She's moving out of the shadows of guilt, and into the light of self-possession. Her new posture, new clothes, and even her phrasing reflect someone who no longer sees herself as damaged but instead sees herself as dangerous in all the right ways. This kind of evolution is rare in soap arcs, and it makes Claire one of the most compelling figures YNR has introduced in years. Point 9. Will Kyle regret losing her? Absolutely. Let's talk about Kyle Abbott, the human embodiment of too little, too late. Kyle may have once seen Claire as a curiosity, someone to unravel and maybe fix. But now, he's watching her ascend without him, and you can bet he's feeling the burn. And you know what? It's well deserved, because now, Kyle is about to see what Claire looks like when she doesn't wait for permission or pander to emotion. The Claire who could have made him better is now making herself invincible without him, and when he realizes that, he'll come running. Too bad for him, Claire's not waiting anymore. Point 10. The masterstroke. Claire's first big move is already in motion. Here's the thing about Claire, she doesn't telegraph her moves. She embeds them, and if you've been watching closely, you might have noticed a few seeds being planted already. That chat with Tucker where she asked about business takeovers, in theory, her new sudden interest in Newman media strategy, a late night phone call where she simply said, "It's time." Whatever she's planning, it's already happening. And when it hits, the shockwave will reverberate from Newman Enterprises all the way to Chancellor Winters. Claire is about to pull a power move that will redefine her place in Genoa City, and maybe even its entire corporate structure. Point 11. How fans are reacting to the new Claire. Social media is ablaze with fan theories and praise for Claire's glow-up. Tweets like, "This is the Claire I've been waiting for. She's giving early Phyllis energy but with Victoria's calculation. Love. IT." Or, "Someone please give Claire a black dress and a glass of bourbon. The takeover is happening, and I want front row seats." Fans aren't just rooting for Claire, they're terrified of her. And that's a delicious sweet spot that few characters get to occupy. Point 12. Final thoughts. The future is clear. Soap operas thrive on evolution.